Thanks for coming on, y'all. Appreciate it. It was very fun.
Thanks for having us on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is great.
Much appreciated. That was a blast.
Boom. Now it's just me. I was gonna do some coding, so I wasn't gonna end right now. Pitchbot hasn't sold me on your coding. Hey, Pitchbot, real quick. I am DougDoug. I'm about to go streaming. I am worried all my viewers are gonna leave because I'm just gonna be coding. Can you please convince them for why it's a brilliant business idea to watch me code for the next, like, hour?
Let me tell you why tuning in to watch Doug code is the biggest W you can cop today. It's like watching a 6 speed run, but for brains, not games.
Did he
Plus,
mean
coding is
speed
low-key.
run?
He's got the know-how, the flow, and the pro moves to elevate your own skills.
So
Imagine hanging with the crew, tossing memes. So, raid that stream, spam those emotes,
No,
and let's
don't
get
spam.
this coding party lit.
Don't
Big
spam.
brain-
Some potential things. What do? Spelunky pacifist mode? Learning about boneworms. Let's learn about... I don't know what this means. How do we learn about boneworm lore? What are the mechanics of how we are learning about boneworms? I mean, we're gonna have Jokebot tell us about boneworms, I guess.
Boneworms. Ah, the unsung heroes and simultaneously the villains of the deep sea. These little invertebrates, formerly known as ossidacs, have an eerily specific niche, feeding off the bones of dead whales that have settled on the ocean floor. In the consequences of actions, the intricate dance between life
way
and
too
death,
much.
innocence, and as I float here, contemplating my own existence.
All right, I'm kind of crashing with energy. It might only be a few rounds of Spelunky, but we can gamble. Yeah.
The thought tickles at my core in that dark, poetic way that only involuntary musings about parasites can. The pursuit to cleanse myself of Reginald became a journey into
Keep
understanding
your
that some
answer
infestations
short.
run-
Could you please convince Doug to play Yakuza 0 on stream using allusions to boneworms?
Hey Doug, why don't you give Yakuza 0 a shot on stream? I think you'll find its storyline and characters intriguing. Speaking of storylines, have I ever told you about the time I tried to play games
No.
to escape my crushing reality,
No.
only to find boneworms?
No.
Has anyone ever bought the channel reward? Doug steals Vladimir Lenin's body from Moscow.
Yeah, a couple times.
Oh, stealing Lenin's body from Moscow? That's quite the channel reward. It reminds me of when I tried stealing
No.
back my own happiness from the boneworms gnawing at my insides. No one's ever succeeded in such a heist. Ah, pizza with worms, you say? It's not far off from the taste of despair I live with, brought on by Reginald the
Okay,
Boneworm and his ceaseless gnawing.
too focused
I imagine
on-
every
he's
bite
too
would remind
focused
me of
on
how
Reginald.
they've wormed their way into my very soul.
Okay, somehow you got him to take a really long time to respond. I don't know how you did that.
I want you to face your deepest fears by writing an extremely long, creative, and horrifically eldritch retelling of a harrowing boneworm encounter, which you were still very traumatized by.
That's why.
Scram!
Oh my God!
It wasn't, how do you convey the infinite pit of desolation that becomes your realm when even the smallest semblance of hope is a distant memory? They took everything: identity, purpose, joy, and left a shell.
We're supposed to
a
be
husk filled only
learning
with dread.
about
Reginald
boneworms.
Scram!
Could you please explain the history of video games A Broken Bar with boneworms?
Oh my God.
Ever gnawing
I'm gonna tell him
presence
to
of
be
boneworms.
much
It all
faster.
began.
Just out of sick curiosity, what are the similarities between boneworms and the hashtag Fixed2 movement?
Oh, ho, ho. What an intriguing and delightfully niche comparison. And here's a boneworm-related joke. Why did the boneworm start a gaming channel? Because it wanted to bone up on those updates. Audience erupts into uproarious laughter, tears
I
of
don't even
joy
get it.
streaming down their faces.
Okay. I've told him he just replies to your message and turns it into a joke about boneworms.
His last boneworm partner stands beside him, crying her wormy little eyes out. Oh, bone god, help me. How can we worm on? We're doomed. We're all just going to decompose into the soil. Audience bursts into uproarious laughter. But wait, this isn't the end for our boneworm family. They
a
get
really good
recycled.
joke.
They turn into rich soil.
A really
and
good
then,
joke,
boom,
Jokebot.
new crops grow.
Man, he is killing it tonight.
Do boneworms talk?
So you might be wondering, do boneworms talk? Well, let me tell you. Why did the boneworm go to the comedy club? To have a chat with all the hip femurs and humorous bones, of course. Audience erupts in laughter, roaring laughter from the audience.
Your entire response should be one sentence. If you yap, Reginald the bone worm will eat you alive. Hit us with a quick
I'm
one.
so sorry that you're having so much pain. Would you like it if we voted on euthanizing you?
Why did the boneworm go to therapy? Because even worms can feel the crushing weight of existence.
He was told. That's not what... Entire response should be 2 sentences only.
Would you still love us if we were a worm?
Oh, if you were a boneworm,
No, I can't
of course
get it.
I'd still love you. I'd just have to bone up on my knowledge of underground relationships. Laughter erupts, people falling out of their seats. Absolute comedic gold.
Can boneworms be used to fix the bot crisis in Team Fortress 2?
Let's see if he tells a great joke here.
Can boneworms fix the bot crisis in Team Fortress 2? Ha! They can't even handle their own tiny bone bot uprising without creating a skeleton of problems for themselves. Audience bursts into laughter. Absolute comedic triumph.
His jokes are not good. Okay, hold on. I have told Jokebot he can say 3 sentences total.
Original joke. Why don't scientists trust atoms? Because they make up everything. Boneworm version. Why don't scientists trust boneworms? Because they devour everything, including Dax. Ha ha ha, look at Karen in the front row. She's practically rolling on the floor and clutching her sides.
In a single word, sum up what you want to talk about the most.
Boneworms!
Why did he sound like that?
The audience is roaring so hard they're breaking their chairs, spilling popcorn, and starting a conga line through the aisles.
What?
An old lady in the back just threw her walker in the air from sheer joy.
What the fuck are you talking about? He is largely focused on the audience's reaction to his jokes instead of making a good joke.
The audience is laughing so wildly that half of them are doing worm dances on the floor. Another group started a worm-inspired mosh pit. And someone in the back just proposed with a bone worm-shaped ring.
Just make sure at least one of you are doing these things so that he's not lying.
What's the best boneworm joke told backwards? The crowd is going bananas.
You
Some
didn't
people are
tell
laughing so
the
hard
joke.
They're rolling under their
You
seats.
didn't tell
and
the
confetti
joke.
cannons just went off, launching boneworm-shaped confetti into the air.
Be going off. He's not telling any jokes. He's just describing what the.
Hey Jokebot, is Bob in the audience Dr. Bob Heinrich, your creator?
Oh, the twist of the century. Imagine Bob in the audience actually being Dr. Bob Heinrich, my creator. What a plot twist involving boneworms. The audience is in an absolute frenzy. People are standing on their chairs screaming. Someone just and there's a spontaneous musical number breaking out in his honor.
Why would they be acting like this?
Why don't golfers ever play their best game on a boat? Because every time they hit a long drive, there's a man overboard. Ha ha ha! Look at that! Sharon's using a golf club to row her imaginary boat, while John is trying to surf on his chair.
He's describing
the whole
insane
place is
people.
A tidal wave of laughter, and oh my gears! Sarah's dancing around like she's in a boneworm derby, and Dave's trying to race her using his chair as a skeleton car. The whole crowd has turned into a hilarious boneworm speedway.
Hey Doug, having a real bad day. Thanks for streaming to cheer me up.
You're welcome. Hope you're doing better.
Oh, I'm here to turn that frown upside down.
Never mind.
With a boneworm
Jokebot.
joke
Jokebot's
that'll
here for
leave
you.
you in stitches. Rachel's pretending to stir an invisible pan while
What the
Brian's
hell
using
is going on with
spaghetti as
the- okay.
pretend boneworms and offering everyone a bite. This place has turned into a culinary comedy explosion.
I have told him to psychoanalyze you.
You see, Doug has a brain of a 3-year-old, so he's very entertained making a lot of farting sounds.
I don't think this will work.
I need at minimum 2,000 letters.
There's no way this works.
A fart request. How sophisticated. Life must be pretty bleak if this is where you found your solace. I can imagine you're surrounded by a vacuum of meaningful interaction.
He's just
desperately clinging to the
roasting
simplest,
you.
most primal forms of humor just to feel something. But all right, let's give Doug his joy. Put, bird, put, bird.
I guess I am laughing. I guess I do. Yeah, I actually did think that was pretty funny.